Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let me show you some things you can do with your iPhone's camera besides taking pictures. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So of course you can take great pictures with your iPhone's camera, but you can also use it for other things as well. The first thing that may come to mind to you is using QR codes to go to websites. Like you might use this at a restaurant to get to their menu. So you just launch the camera app and go into regular photo mode. And then you just bring the QR code into the frame. You'll see the URL appear underneath it. You tap it and it goes to that web page. So this is basically just a shortcut for having to type out the entire URL. It just goes to a web page. You'll see it in all sorts of places like large billboards, menus in restaurants, even ads and articles in magazines. Another thing you do with your camera is to scan documents. This is more than just taking a photo, but this is actually taking the document and flattening it out so you don't have to position your camera perfectly above it. So you can do this in many different locations. You can use a dedicated scanning app, but you can also do it right in the Files app. In the Files app, go to the location where you want the file to be saved, then tap the three dots button at the upper right hand corner, select Scan Documents, and now point your iPhone at the document. And you can see it's going to figure out what the document is, scan it, and then you can tap Save, or you can continue to scan more pages. You can also do this in the Notes app. So in a note you can add a scan by tapping that same button there at the top and then tap Scan, and then you could scan the document in. And now tap Save and it's actually part of your note. Now with text either on a sign or on a piece of paper, you can easily select the text and copy it, but you can also translate. So here I've got a document here and you can see how it's going to recognize the text, and I get this little indicator at the bottom right hand corner and you can see the yellow marks here. I can tap there and you can see I can copy it. I could also translate it since this isn't in English for me, and I get the translation. It'll also convert currencies for you. So if you're looking at something like a menu like this, focus in on the text that you want and then tap here. And notice here it recognizes there's a currency to convert. You can tap there and get the conversion right there. You've never even taken a picture. You're just pointing your camera with the camera app at an item on the menu. This also works for unit conversions. So here I've got something I can convert. Tap there. And you can see at the bottom here I get conversions. Now there's also a big feature in your iPhone called Visual Lookup. Now this will look in photos that you've taken and try to identify things like plants and pets. So technically it does involve actually taking a picture, but you just need to take the picture and then you can use it to identify and then delete the photo. If you have iOS 16, you've got the full feature set for this. So you can do birds, you could do pets, you can do art, you could do landmarks, you could do plants, insects, and a few other things. Older versions of iOS will only be able to do things like plants and pets. Now some apps will let you do special things with the camera. For instance, in the Google app, this is the regular Google search app, you can use the camera to take pictures and then perform searches. So I'm going to turn this on here. This is called Google Lens. And then I'm going to tap here, point the camera at an object, and then tap Search. And then it's going to search based on that object. So you can find out all sorts of interesting things about objects like artwork or products in a store. Now you can also use your iPhone's camera as a magnifying glass. Go in Settings to Accessibility. And then go down here to Accessibility Shortcut. And make sure that you've got Magnifier checked here. And note the triple click the side button. That's what brings up all of these options. If you only have Magnifier selected, it'll go right into that. But if you have several things selected, then it's going to give you the choice. Go to Magnifier and then it magnifies whatever it sees. And you can slide this to increase magnification, to read fine print. You can even snap a temporary photo and then you can bring your iPhone away from whatever it is you're looking at. Whether it's a recipe, maybe ingredients on a package, or maybe the directions on a bottle of medicine. Another thing you can use your iPhone's camera for is for looking at the night sky. So you can use an app like I'm using Star Walk 2 here. Then I'm seeing the night sky and it's actually showing me exactly what I'm pointing my phone at. Now if I tap the camera button up here, it'll actually show me what it sees through the camera and I can match to that. Now I'm not outside and it's not nighttime, so it's not going to work for me here. But usually you can see like the landmarks, like maybe buildings nearby and things like that, and it helps you line the phone up. And you can definitely see the moon and the brightest stars through your camera this way as well. Now another thing you can use your camera for is augmented reality. So in the iPhone you can do this with the Maps app in certain cities. So it works here in my city and I can actually go out, use directions. Now I have to switch to walking directions. This is for walking directions only. Then I tap this button over here. It looks kind of like a snowflake, and you tap that and now you're actually seeing the directions overlaid on your camera. So you can see how the arrow here is pointing my direction down the street that I need to walk. There are other apps out there that will actually just show you what's around you. So this one's called World Around Me, and you can just choose a topic like restaurants and then you point your iPhone and it will show you the names of restaurants that you should be able to see through your camera. Another one I like to use, especially here in Colorado, is called Peak Finder. And this one allows you to point your iPhone at mountains and then it will show you the actual names of the different peaks. And you can line it up to get it perfect and it looks really good. Here I'm using it in the city so you can't really see the mountains behind the buildings. But those mountains are there and I am now looking in the right directions for them. Here's what it looks like when you're using it and you can actually see the mountains and you can see how it helps you name the different mountains around you. So you can either find your way or just out of curiosity. And finally, your iPhone has an app on it you won't usually find on the home screen. It's called Measure. Just search for it in Spotlight. And you can point it at objects and it will actually measure for you. So you can see how it's found my trackpad. I tap the plus button and it gives me measurements. It works better on larger objects, not smaller ones, and it's just an approximation, but it can be really useful. And that's not all. There are lots of other apps out there that will do various things, sometimes useful, sometimes just interesting, using the camera. For instance, here's an app I can use at my local botanic gardens that shows virtual artwork within the gardens. I'm only seeing these objects through the phone. So it's using the camera for the iPhone to show me everything else, and then it's superimposing the 3D object on that. So there are tons of other uses. Hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.